Hey everyone, Lee Chazen here in beautiful San Diego, where I'm just wrapping up the AI and Education Summit convention. It was so filled with positivity and a positive framework for education, but for every aspect of society, not a single negative word that I remember was even spoken about the doom and gloom that you hear about. And so I wanted to make this message specifically for the purpose of recruitment, which is to say that a lot of the concepts we've developed with GliderCell have been tested over the last 2.5 years. We've got 29,000 use cases, over 100,000 views on our FlowGPT site. I've got an educational game that's built on three generative AI prompts, generates a whole textbook worth of information and 400 questions for a game-based learning scenario. That's just the beginning. So the idea is that if we get the right group of people together, something that I'm going to call the AI Imagination Lab, and these people are from disparate parts of the economy and society, not traditional people who would work in technology, but people from the arts and humanities and liberal arts, writers, thinkers, philosophers, yes, some technologists, but also creatives, seriously, poets, musicians. You've been trained on how to think broadly and what things mean to society at large. And that's all very useful now in this age that we're living in. And I'm not quite sure that people understand the mindset shift that's going on. And so one of the trainings that we do speaks to that directly, which is this notion of being a hyper-generalist. Being able to think across disciplines, to see the bigger picture, to see how all the different parts come together, how all the apps can be merged together to form something better. How will companies, organizations, classrooms use tools like Notebook LM? How will they create the perfect data sets? How can you incorporate things like Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, or Myers-Briggs, or Bloom's taxonomy, or in marketing, how can you use the story branding framework? All those can be built into data sets that can drive your chatbots, that can drive all kinds of action for your customers, for your students, for everyone. So we're leaving ourselves open to doing this kind of training generally for human beings who need to learn how to interact with these tools. So I am recruiting. Please use some of our chatbots. For example, there's one called True Self, which will help you figure out who you are, because I'm telling you something, I think the age of the resume, I don't want to say LinkedIn is over just yet, they're going to make some changes, but I do want to say that traditional resumes don't see the whole picture. So use some of these chatbots to find out what you're good at. Do you have good visual skills, visual spatial? Do you have certain creative skills? Are you a deep thinker? Can you see how things are connected? Do you have a sense of how business works or how to connect to some of these niche markets? If so, please send me your information. This is a great time. Everyone at the convention was so excited. We feel like we're living in the greatest, most imaginably unbelievable time there ever was. In fact, I learned from one of the people I was talking to that there is even a course of study being taught by a Harvard professor, or an area of research called imaginative studies, or I think they call it Fantasia research. Hello, I've been waiting for this for a long time. So these are the kinds of things that interest you. Please do send me information about yourself. Let's set up a meeting and let's get this going. Have a great day.